Mark in the Netherlands writes to me, "Hey Paul, I just got this harebrained idea." Thanks. I get those all the time. And I'm going to bother you with it. It's not a bother. I love harebrained ideas. Fortunately, I'm not hampered by any electronic knowledge, so I can ask, is it possible to use a buffer of some sort, like tubes or otherwise, in the speaker level output? So a device you run the speaker wires into and out of again while it spices up the sound. If you have a boring sounding analytical clean amp, you can make it go boom. I love it. That is a harebrained idea. I love it. I have not seen anything like that. I suppose you could. You don't want to put tubes between the power output of the amplifier and the speaker, because that's the tubes are voltage devices, so they wouldn't know what to do with that current. They couldn't pass the current on. So you could come up with a vacuum tube. You said buffer. It just wouldn't be practical. You'd have to have a vacuum tube output stage that you put at the output of your solid state power amp stage and duplicate it so you wouldn't use many watts going in to the stage. So yeah, I guess as I talk it through, yeah, you could do that. You could make a gain of one vacuum tube output stage that used the output signal of your power amp to run it through a vacuum tube output stage, but then that'd have to have feedback. That'd be a nightmare to design. I don't think it'd be worth it. You could use a transformer. Now, that's not going to give you any boom, but it's going to soften the sound if that's what you want. There was a company for a while that made sort of the same thing you're talking about, but instead of at the output of the power amplifier, it was at the input of the power amplifier, and it was a vacuum tube, a buffer, and it went between the preamp and the power amp and gave a tube-like sound. And that was around for a while, kind of a novelty, and people did that, and it was cool. I am just much more of a purist when it comes to that. I don't like doing all of that. I think you're much better off to just get the right equipment, get the right setup, do the right stuff, and your results will be much better. But it is an interesting harebrained idea, and thank you for that. All right. Bye.